Rimworld has been here for almost 10 years. This is how it looked back then. And now? Oh no, don't show that. How did we get here? It all started when Tynan Sylvester in 2013 said some words and boom.
Hey there everybody, this is Tynan Sylvester. I'm the developer of Rimworld, and we just put out Alpha 1 of the game.
Pro tip, if you played in Alpha 1,
You know, what do I do with these huge catacombs filled with raiders? You know, eat them, why not?
simple things like stockpiles, beds, trading and raiding existed. A wonderful experience. Oh, and there were free Cassandra classics. Alpha 2 added something useful.
So it starts out with cooking. Everyone was pretty tired of eating nothing but nutrient paste all the time. Now you can actually butcher up your animals and cook them. We're gonna get this muffalo.
And just like that, humans had learned to use fire to cook food. Fun fact, stone cutting was also introduced. This allowed you to take a chunk and cut it up into 20 stone blocks. Oh, and you can also remove roof area. Simply wonderful.
What the hell is going on in front of you? Well, that's just a couple of visitors taking care of a psychotic muffalo.
Alpha 3. Visitors now enter your colony and now you can arrest them on the spot.
So back in Alpha 2, we added modding support. If you happen to want to use human bones to make walls.
New faction relations tab is here. These are the factions you can harvest organs from. Ruins were also added and the build tab was overhauled. Were you paying attention? Because before this,
So as you can see, we got trees in the game now, and you can chop them down.
you had to saw logs into planks, which doesn't exist now. Hunting.
As you can see, actually picks up and carries his stuff back to the stockpile.
The crematorium was also added, as well as the useful slag refinery. The first ever non-human enemy was also added, the centipede.
Mechanoid combat. These are the first non-human enemies we put in the game.
Alpha 5 added sieges to the game to counter kill boxes.
The most dangerous weapon is actually artillery.
You can now strip corpses as well. Not only that, but
Notice that's new is there's actually an end to the game now, which is the escape ship.
UI changes include the history tab containing wealth, and then the defoliator ship containing mechs. Alpha 6 added separate difficulty settings to the storyteller, revamped map generation and tools for that, and the current health system.
Instead of people just having health points, now we're actually tracking every injury on every body part. Now he's got a shot. Oh, it actually nicked his heart. Went through his torso and nicked his heart.
In Alpha 7, you can build things out of more stuff.
Now every object's statistics are set up with a system of modifiers and multipliers.
A new biome.
We have the tropical rainforest biome, which has a number of distinct features.
My personal favorite is organ harvesting.
But let's just harvest her left kidney, because she can survive without that, right?
And aging is here. Very slow, but you can also get diseases like malaria and such. Trading was limited to visitors, but you can use soon to simply discuss these reasonable prices and trade. You can also lock doors now, which forbids everyone from going through. Oh, and melee weapons didn't exist before.
Melee weapons. Let's load up our naked slave girl with a spear.
Alpha 8 brought tons of buildings and features like the cold tundra being added.
There's the wind turbine, which is a new power source that we added. So moving right along, you can see that our guys have some new clothing to help them survive the deep winter cold.
A new heating system as well, which is exquisite with heaters and coolers.
So we've added a new art system. It's pretty straightforward and simple right now. This is the first iteration. Shrines. These will generate on the map, and you can open up the ancient sleepers and see what comes out. As you can see, the melee guys start out with these spherical shields that they have wrapped around themselves, energy shields. Beer brewing, it wouldn't be a management game if people couldn't get incredibly drunk here.
Since one sculpture was too boring, you can now have grand ones.
Now instead of having one sculpture type, now there are three, small, large, and grand.
Pro tip, you can now press T to toggle beauty. Down friendlies could only be captured before, but now you can save them.
We've improved a lot of the underlying tech, so you should see improvements in performance across the board.
And the latest addition is the joy system, which is now required for colonists to be happy by playing with toys. Stockpile filter slides have also been added, and the schedule system. Pro tip, you want to put yellow bars into it. Work, my slaves. Alpha 11 adds zappers that will go around traps to towards beds. Security tools such as Deadfall and IEDs are also added. A few events including the toxic fallout and volcanic winter. You can also set areas to restrict colonist movement, as well as psychic soothes. Floors used to be permanently placed, but now you can remove them, and the ability to hold open doors is here. Manhunting animals have also been added. Alpha 12 adds the taming system. Wait, why are you milking a male cow? Dogs can be trained to haul or rescue.
What the dog doing?
Press G to toggle room info. The tool cabinet is also added, which improves work speed, and instead of deconstructing things, you can now uninstall them. Alpha 13 adds infestations and improves research. Devil Strand is also added for heat protection. Speaking of protection,
If the fire touches the popper, it will of course go off.
nice white sticky liquid comes out. New events like the prison break and predators like cougars are added. A setting for reacting towards enemies are also added. Caravans also exist now. Before, only visitors could come. Pemmican and torches are added in Alpha 14, improving tribal gameplay. More research is also added. Animal interface has been polished and the current trade system is here.
A negative number will buy or
Oh, and almost all these animals have been added. Moisture pumps to turn water into dry land, and the worst trait, Pyromaniac, has been added. Did you know that?
previously the roof would just appear automatically when you built an enclosed structure. Now when you start a game, you actually choose your scenario. Now a scenario defines sort of the starting conditions in general.
And custom ones can be made. People have made a lot of them. A tutorial was added because I suppose we need to learn how to harvest organs in Alpha 15.
I thought drugs would be a cool one to do, so.
Oh wait, that works too. Yeah, all these were added, as well as deep drilling. Passive coolers are an adequate tool for tribals. Oh, and beer also needs to ferment now. And the gear tab. And the best feature yet.
Now you can drag to reorder once. It is. There it is. It's the world. The spherical world where you can go everywhere and look at anything a little bit prettier.
You can now caravan, and the current research UI was implemented. Out in caravans you can encounter dangers, and attacking settlements are also possible. Send colonists or items across the map with the transpod launcher, and the latest addition, the chem fuel, which can be acquired through a refinery. Process organics to get it.
You could kind of just like put a 1 square gold wall on a room that was the size of a closet and people would love it. You're gonna have a reason to care about how nice the rooms are. Roads, rivers, paths. Stuff that actually goes through the map. So here, let's take a look. And here you are going to see a river.
World events like trading offers, bandit camps, and the bands are here. You can now tend your own wounds as well. If the hospital bill gets too big, fedora hats.
Put on that bowler hat.
Fire is improved as it burns more stuff and leaves behind ashes. Skills actually matter, and the difference between level 0 and 5 is big.
It's got new biomes, new weapons, new inspirations, new mechanics, tons of new stuff. So let's take a look. The areas now have names, so you can see, and these are all randomly generated, of course.
New biome, the swamp,
So there's 3 types of swamp. There's tropical swamp, temperate swamp, and cold bog.
and the 2 special weapons were added. There is also logs of what happens during battle. The vanometric power cell and psychic emanator and more exotic items were added. New mental breaks.
This one is the insulting spree,
Hold shift to...
that you can queue up jobs now.
A lot of tribal armor and headset content as well. Of course, Rimworld wouldn't be it without a table. You better eat on it. The tornado generator will demolish bases. And of course,
Look at these caves. Aren't they beautiful?
previously there were 3 types of mortars, EMP and incendiary. Now there's only 1 mortar.
There are bridges in the game now.
Plate armor is added. To buff rivers, a power source has been added. A great auto and slug turrets have also been added. The best scenario naked brutality is also here. The ship now has a countdown and raids will come during it. Infestations used to come instantly. Now there's time to prepare. The flamethrower, of course. Oh, and the fabrication bench, since components are always needed.
You can fabricate your own bionics.
Rimworld 1 is essentially a Beta 19 with some bug fixes, but a great accomplishment.
Welcome to my grand estate.
Rimworld 1.1 or the Royalty DLC has been released. Since they aren't part of the base game, I won't talk too much about them, but it adds weapons, armor, and new endings, sidecast quests, buildings, everything. Too much to talk about. Rimworld 1.2 adds new utilities like the smoke pop and shield pack, improved effects as well. A new quest and permits, grenadier and locust armor are also added, and more like recon armor. The jump pack, which is good for all types of situations, and the persona weapons. Then they added customization to the storyteller, which is great.
What do you believe? Our people connect with the great trees.
Rimworld 1.3 or the Ideology DLC adds ideologies, which allows you to customize your beliefs. Buildings like the biosculpture pod and general role-playing is what this DLC is mostly for. Apart from the DLC, 1.3 adds a pen system, so you gotta keep animals in check, and a breach system which improves sapper raids, with the termite being added. And that's pretty much where we are now. Thanks to my Patreons and members, and thank you for watching.